Your relationship with the script is very personal, and it's not really to do with a tick box of things, which is often what people imagine it is. Does it have this kind of appeal? Will it be able to raise money like this? All those questions are important, because nobody gets to make a film without those questions being answered. But I think the primary reaction you must have is a personal one, really. You just see the story in a way that you then have to persuade other people to see it that way as well. And you may never be able to. You may fail, even though you make the film, they still don't get it, nobody understands it, it's like a failure. But that's the quest, you know, is you have this relationship and you think, no, that's the story I want to tell. And it can be something that you generate because of something you're interested in. It can be something that surprises you, that's given to you, and it's just like, what's this? You know, and that was Slumdog Millionaire, for instance, was like that. But you have that personal relationship. You just see the story, and you think, I tell it like that, really. So it's and you have to remain open to, and it doesn't matter where the scripts come from or whether they're famous people have written them or not. You just remain open to the story, really, and then you hope eventually to bring that to the eventual experience that an audience has watching it. That purity of reaction, you hope the audience will feel as well as they watch it. Wow, I love that story, you know, it's that kind of thing. Well, there's two really. I mean, there's a filmmaker, a British filmmaker called Nick Rogue, who's always inspired me on a personal level. There's a 10-year period where he made a series of films that began really with Performance and Don't Look Now and ended with an extraordinary film called Eureka. He's a huge, I don't make films like him, but he's a huge inspiration to me. He makes films with very little resources. They're not huge films, although he tended to use big stars, including David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth. And he's been a huge personal inspiration for me. But the movie that inspires me more than anything is Apocalypse Now, because it's the most extraordinary movie ever made. I don't care what anybody says. I'll defend it against all comers, Citizen Kane, whatever, Gone with the Wind, whatever. And it's not perfect, and that's one of the reasons it's a great film, is that it's not perfect. It's an endless film. It's never finished. You can feel even now Coppola's still trying to kind of finish it, really, in a way, and I love that about it. I always say it's the change I enjoy the most, because when you're prepping, you get very, you know, it's all prep and meetings and it's endless, and then you're shooting and it's amazing. And that change to be actually shooting is amazing. And then when you're shooting, it's like incredibly tiring. And then you're editing, and it's that change into editing where suddenly you've got 100 people all need to know things and need questions answered and decisions made and know where they're going. And then suddenly it's just two people in an editing room. And I love that. I love the change, really. And you realize that most people don't get that change in their normal working lives. And we're very lucky that it's a job that has an inherent change even within one story. And then the stories change as well. You finish one story and start another story. One may be set in Rome, one may be set in India. You know, you're like, wow, and you get that change as well. So it's change I love more than a particular part of it, you know. Just persistence, really. I mean, they'll know that anyway, that you've just got to keep going, and it's not easy. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. Because I think the general consensus is that it's a glamorous business. It's not really, and everybody who's involved in it knows that. It is also a glamorous business because when it works, there's something about it's bewitching for people to be involved in storytelling. And that's a wonderful reward, really. Because it's something that's deep in everybody's psyche, and everybody needs it. Even if they don't want to acknowledge it sometimes, everybody needs that storytelling. It goes back to primitive times. But it's hard, and you just have to persist, really, and you have to know that those who are in it for the wrong reasons will get tired. That's why it's hard, really, so that the wrong people don't succeed and the right people will get there in the end. So persistence is the most important thing, I think, really.